Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to go over your questions which I got answered throughout the last week. Now, last week I'd done a video saying you can ask me literally anything you like in the comments, and I'll give it a week for them to just accumulate, and I'll answer them in a follow-up video, which is where we are now. And no questions will be avoided. I was going to answer the best 10, but I don't want to, leave people out on things like that. So there were some good questions, and it will take me so long to try and decide which are the best 10. I may as well just answer them all. So we'll crack on with this. Not going to dodge anything at all. Going to give some really honest and forthright answers. And we start off with Gemma Gemsies. Hi Rob, I'm a new player and just started playing in 2023, so your videos are really helpful to me, really good. And I'm not in a great guild at the moment. There are a few people asleep. Do you recommend that I start my own guild? Why did you decide to start your own, and why the name North Star? Is it hard to run a guild? There's a bunch of questions in one, but anyway, we'll let that slide. I recommend that you start your own guild? No, not as a new player. You'll find it hard to attract decent players. It's going to be hard work. You're going to make little mistakes along the way, which you're better off just basically going into a guild. It's as good as you can manage. It basically accepts you at your player level. That's definitely the best way to go about it. Why did you decide to start your own guild, and why the name North Star? Well, the guild we were in previously, there was a few things just not quite right about it, which me and another guild member didn't like. So we set up a new guild, and it was the guild leader that called it North Star, probably related to the fact that it's like the point in the solar system sort of thing, as we see it, as the main point of everything kind of thing. So, and it's kind of the leading star, if you know what I mean. So yeah, kind of pretty cool. And is it hard to run a guild? Yes and no. If you get a good bunch of players that know what they're doing and don't need nannying all the time, it's easy. But if you get those awkward players and they don't pull their weight, they need reminding to do guild stuff or event stuff and things like that, or they're causing arguments and there's drama, then yeah, it can be a bit of a nightmare. So those are the sort of players you want to try and avoid. Anyway, next up we have Kate Collier, 2192. Have you ever played any of the 8-bit classic consoles like the Atari 2600 or Intellivision? And if so, what were your favourite games? How about the Sega and Nintendo mini consoles that came out a few years ago? Lots of classic games to choose from on those. Well, I've got tons of retro consoles. My games room downstairs, I've got like an arcade room. It's got everything in there from an Atari 2600 to a Mega Drive 2, I think I've got one in Television, got a Philips G7000, got about 3 of them. That was the first ever games console that I bought. So yeah, I love all those old games. I love the Mega Drive and SNES in particular. They're one of some of my favorites, and the PC Engine, if you remember that one. I didn't bother with the mini consoles because basically I've got all those games in various guises on various arcade machines. So yeah, absolutely love those old retro machines. Dark 004. On what should you focus on as a new player? As a new player, just getting some of the basics of the game done, like just working at doing the daily adventures. Make sure you play daily. Get stuff like Mountain Crusher. Get stuff like Mang. If you're going to buy the armor in the game, if you think you're going to be in this for the long haul, then get the Death Knight armor straight away. If you're loving it, if you're going to play it and you've been playing it, 6, 8, 10 hours a day, and you're kind of hooked and you can see yourself just playing it non-stop and really getting into it, then the Death Knight armor is absolutely definitely worth going, because it's worth buying, because it's going to really help push your game forward. But there is a new player guide. If you put new player guide into my search bar, there'll be a whole section on that kind of thing. G3K. For someone that wants to dabble in videos editing, what inspired you to start a YouTube channel? How did you come up with your name? What equipment do you use to film, edit your videos? How long does it take to learn to do editing? And how long do you spend on each video? Any advice would you give to people starting out? Well, that could be a video on its own. That's the answer to this, to be honest. So I'll try and keep it fairly short. But a name Honest Rob was given to me by my girlfriend, and what's widely misunderstood is it's not Honest Rob in the way of honest as in telling the truth or whatever, or something like that. It's not like That kindness, it comes from me being very forthright and straight to the point. My girlfriend gave it to me when I say things just that you shouldn't do really sometimes. And I do control myself pretty well on YouTube. There's not many reasons to be any other way, to be honest. But it's from my girlfriend when I just say something which your brain kind of says you shouldn't really say that, but my mouth just works too fast and I've said it already before my brain thinks it's a good idea. And she says, honest Rob strikes again. And that's where it came from. What equipment do I use? I use mostly Sony camcorders. Got various lighting things. I've got a Rode Video Mic Pro and a Rode Lav mic. How long does it take you to learn to do editing? Well, that is a bit of an ongoing process. At first, I wasn't very good at it. They were basic, and then depending upon what software you're using, I discovered how you can overlay things. How you could put a clip on top of another clip and things like this. You just keep on learning that sort of stuff. The more you learn the software you're using, the better you get at it. And so the more you do, the more you learn, basically. How long do you spend on each video? That last one, that was more to do with filming sort of thing. The editing in the PlayStation videos, it doesn't take long at all on the Gems of War ones. Because I've got the intro obviously saved as its own little snip. You just put that at the beginning, put your recorded section in there. If you remember where you made a mess up or just fumbled your words, you can just snip that bit out and it doesn't take very long at all. How long do you spend on each video? That varies. Monday is the longest. That's a 3 or 4 sometimes video day. And I'll typically start that around about 9 o'clock in the morning, maybe. Between 9 and 10, depends on when I wake up. I don't set my alarm for these things. I get up when I wake up. It's like I like my sleep. And humans, long life, long sleep, or longer sleep, longer life is how they call it. So you should never deprive yourself of sleep, I don't think, especially not for something as basic as YouTube videos. And I know some people it's their life and it's really important, but still I value my life more than a little bit more extra money or something. But on a Monday, start making the first video anywhere between, that's the Soul Forge video, anywhere between 9 and 9:30 normally. And a lot of the videos are ready before I put them up. They're not up straight away. I don't get them up and bang them out straight away. Or sometimes put them up at a scheduled time so they're spaced nicely apart or something like that. But yeah, videos on Monday are normally done by between 12 and 1 p.m. Depends how awkward the Epic Trials was, if it's something like that as well. But yeah, if it's just the 3 videos, Soul Forge videos, nice and quick. That's normally 15 minutes, another 10 minutes checking and editing. And that's about it really. A bit more for the world event one because I do put some overlay text into that. The Underspy video is really quick. That's normally like a just 5 or 6 minute video and that is done and dusted in pretty much the same amount of time. A couple of minutes extra for the editing. And the world event one depends upon how technical it is, and same with the Tower of Doom or Invasion. Quite often I can get ideas for teams almost instantly sometimes. So if I've got that idea instantly, then it's going to work. But something like the Journey troops, where you got the Pathfinders and things like that, where they've been nerfed, you've got to try and think outside the box a little bit more and work your way around that, which can make it a little bit more tricky sometimes. So therefore, it takes slightly longer to get a decent team together, and then you have to show that team working and stuff. So those videos can take slightly longer, but not particularly longer. And the other ones in the week, if I show like a mythic boss team or something like that, or just a team in general, not very long because I've got the idea in my head already. I might plan what I'm going to say already in my head as I'm doing other things. I can do that kind of thing. Bizarrely, I can do that in my sleep, which is really weird. It's one of the reasons I don't sleep fantastically well. I tend to have ideas and can think in my sleep, which is a bit of a weird thing. It's probably not conducive to fantastic sleep, but yes. And any advice that you would give to people starting out? That's probably the most relevant part to that question, to be honest. Be consistent. Just keep doing what you're doing. Be yourself. Don't try and be sort of a personality that you're not. A lot of people just do it and you can tell it's not their real personality. They're trying to be someone. It will be something that they're not, and it comes across wrong sometimes. It's okay to be the same version of yourself, just a little bit more energetic. That's fine. That is the way a lot of people do it. That is the way I do it. I don't always talk exactly the way I'm talking now to everyone. That'd be a bit weird. But yeah, just be yourself with a little bit more energy, I would say. And another bit of advice is just ignore anybody that's a bit of a hater or whatever. Just like anybody that's hating on you for whatever reason, they're probably jealous, they're probably worried about you in one way or another. So take it as a compliment and just carry on. Next one up, we have Forever Shredded. Used to be in our guild, so hear me out. Would you all let me play in your guild again? I mean, you said I could ask anything. That's pretty good, Shredded. Yeah, no issue at all, providing you get your stuff done. I vaguely remember you missing out on a few events or being at the bottom or not doing something. I can't remember what it was. Can't remember what the issue was, but it was it's not my ultimate decision anyway. I'm the kind of right hand man in the guild, not the uber boss sitting in the mega chair. But yes. Millie Vanilli. There's a band from the past. 3791. What is your favourite way to prepare chicken eggs for consumption? I like eggs. I would say scrambled eggs, done really nice with a nice dollop of butter and some full cream milk mixed in. Just edges out, fried egg sandwiches. Do love scrambled eggs. Red Hot Rockstar says, who? She's the GL in the guild leader. She's the leader. She says, who is a better guild leader, you or me? Well, not even in a fawning or groveling way is clearly her. I don't do a huge amount in the guild really. I'm busy doing videos and other stuff. I'll try and chip in now and again to do my bit, but she does a lot more than me. She gets the bulk of people's questions and things like that, and she arranges various bits and hands out gem rewards for people that do well in events and things like that. So yeah, that's a bit of a no contest, and I think she knew that. That's why she asked it, but never mind. It's all good. Marianne83 says, Rob, for a gems level 1100 player, what are the main things I should be doing to get my troops stronger? Like the things that need to be done to hit harder, for example. But hitting harder, it's all based around magic. Your magic, your player level, getting a good guild, do the underworld. Don't ignore the underworld. I ignored the underworld for absolutely ages, and I kind of regretted it afterwards because I had to play catch up. Do the underworld daily. Make sure you just do this. The game is all about just doing stuff on a regular basis, and it feels like super slow progress, but it all slowly but surely comes together a little bit at a time, and then it suddenly just seems to connect, and all of a sudden you're upgrading a kingdom as you're hitting harder. You've upgraded that kingdom, which gives you extra bonuses, and your factions are coming together, which gives you global stats to all your troops, and it just all molds together slowly but surely. So just keep on doing what you're doing, but make sure you're in a good guild when you do it to maximize rewards. Kerry Matheson says, if you were stranded on an island, you could only bring one tool, one drink, one one food, one human dead or alive, one album, what would you bring? Well, that is a tricky question. One tool, I think it would have to be a survival knife. Otherwise, it'd be screwed in no time. The survival knife, I mean, the one that's got the knife part, the saw, the blade, and other stuff. One food. I'm presuming this is like luxury food to go on top of other stuff you may be able to scavenge. Chocolate. Chocolate just wins. One drink, tea. Thank you. One human dead or alive. Well, I'm presuming that's not including people that I know, because anybody else asked this question, like husbands, wives, would be very annoyed if it wasn't them. So I'm going to base it on the basis that it's not anybody that I know. If it was female, it would have to be Nicole Kidman from the Eyes Wide Shut kind of era. And if it was male, it would be Bruce Lee, because he's kind of my male hero. He's one that inspired me to get into martial arts when I was a younger lad, shall we say. And one album, what would you bring? There's a lot of favourite albums I've got. I do love a lot of different bands, but if I had to take only one album, it would probably have to be Endless Form's Most Beautiful by Nightwish, just for one song. I don't think it's actually their best album, but it has got my favourite song of all time on there, which is The Greatest Show on Earth. It's absolutely a fantastic song. But if you look it up on YouTube, give yourself some time. It's nearly half an hour long, but it's worth every single minute. It's absolutely stunning, and it's one of those ones that needs to be sort of listened to as well, because it's absolutely fantastic. It's about basically how lucky everybody is to basically be born in the first place and alive and appreciate life. And it's all about the earth from its very initial conception to how it is now. Evolution is about everything, basically. It's absolutely stunning, stunning song. All right, next up we have Phil Paul Cook. How do I achieve a Champion of PvP trophy on the PlayStation? I think that's an older trophy. This does slightly ring a bell. I think that was the one. I think you have to achieve tier 1 in PvP, which just I was on the old style system, so I'm not sure how it would work now actually. Because the old style system, you could just play a certain amount of PvP, and it wasn't that much, and you would get up to level first tier in PvP. So that's how you did that. But I'm not sure that'd be the same now. So yeah, you probably just got to play enough PvP, but I'm not sure now because, like I say, that may have changed how that works. All time, this is from Robert Boucher, 3217. All time favorite gaming system with your favorite picks on that system. Mine would be SNES with UN Squadron, Probotector, ActRaiser, and Super Mario World, some of my top picks. If I had to pick one gaming system, yep, I think one, it's close. I loved my Mega Drive or Genesis. I loved my SNES, but I think it was my SNES that I loved the most. The Mega Drive was good, but the SNES just took things to the next level. Some of the graphics and some of the sound and music on that thing just seemed so far ahead of its time. At the time, it was absolutely mind-blowing. And yeah, I'm absolutely with you on ActRaiser. Absolutely love that game. The graphics and music on that game. The first time you played it, it was like, oh my God, you almost couldn't believe what you're playing. It was absolutely stunning. But my other top SNES games, did love that. I loved Probotector, but it was called Contra 3 over here, though. Yeah, that was I think Probotector was the robotic sort of version, as a Contra 3 had the normal army type dudes. But yeah, loved that. Loved UN Squadron as well. That was a very cool side-scrolling shoot 'em up. Did like that a lot. Yeah, too many picks really. I've never really gone to Super Mario World for some reason. I've never really been that much into the Super Mario games. F-Zero was another one of my favourites. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, absolutely loved the SNES. Eagle Nest 99 says, I believe you play gems on PlayStation. I play on Xbox, having converted after loving my PS2. What made you choose the PS route, and knowing what you know now, would you have stuck to your guns or switched consoles? For me, by switching, I had to forever forego the chance of playing Ratchet & Clank, one of my favourite series games. Well, it's a bit slightly complicated answer. I'll try and shorten, but basically, I used to have a game shop. Going back a bit, I had a game shop at the same era as the Xbox 360, just before that came along. And I preferred the Xbox 360 over the PS3, or whatever the equivalent was at the time. Was it the equivalent? Probably. And yeah, so the 360 I did prefer. I had a PS3, didn't use it much. Before that, I had an original Xbox, which I really, really liked as well. And that probably got more use than my PS2. So yeah, I kind of was with the Xbox for a while, and then something happened, which I'm going to put into, I'll explain more in a future video because it takes a little bit of explaining. But when the Xbox One was announced, I think it was the Xbox One, pretty sure, and there was a thing Microsoft tried to do where basically they wanted a cut of every single pre-owned game traded in, which was the bread and butter of game shops, like trading in on the games. It's like you can't. There's hardly any money made on new games. You can't. It's hard, almost impossible to survive on making money on new games in a shop. because the cut is so low. Sometimes, not even kidding, you're making literally £1 or £2 on a new game. Not even that sometimes, just to try and compete with the supermarkets that always discount stuff because they can sell it at a cost price because they make money on their food and other things. So yeah, that was to do with that. What Microsoft tried to pull on that was completely out of order, and it goes a little bit more beyond what people actually know. I might explain this in a future video because it was beyond a joke. It did end up absolutely massively backtracking, and once they realised the backlash was so huge, the public backlash as well. And but yeah, that kind of put me off. And then when it came to the PS4 and the Xbox One, whatever it was, the PS4 sounded better anyway. It was more powerful, I think, and I liked the games that were on the PlayStation. There's so many good games that are exclusive on that, and the exclusives on the Xbox to me were a bit dull by comparison and not anywhere near as interesting. So I've been PlayStation ever since. I did have a Series X for a while, but sold it again when I realised it was just sitting there, not doing much. Yeah, so I've been PlayStation basically ever since. User this one of those funny ones, but anyway, intriguing idea. I have several questions, but to start with, excuse me, presuming you know about this 90k trophies in a week on his own dude, do you think it is legit or was he being helped out? Interesting question, and again, one of these ones I'm going to give a absolutely honest answer to. At first, I thought he's got to be being helped out because I've done some really quick maths. Ooh, excuse me. And I did a similar thing, not anywhere near that many, just over a year ago. I did 10,000 trophies in a day. But the teams were different then. That's when I was using the Phoenicia Magma Dragon team, which I think was the fastest at the time. And that got about 9 trophies a minute, sorry. But so doing the maths on that, it takes on almost full 24 hours a day to actually do that when you work it out to get 90,000 trophies. So at first I was in a bit of doubt, but with Stellarex teams and things like that now, you can probably get 12 trophies a minute a lot of the time if you've got a good connection and everything stays on your side and is fast for a while. But there is a tiny element of doubt still, I've got to be honest, and that's only because if you didn't record it, there's always going to be doubt. One of the main reasons when I've done my 10,000 trophies in a day, I did 2 separate videos. It took me something like 23 hours, I think. First one was an 11-hour video, and the other one 11 and a half hours, something like that. So 22 hours roughly. But as soon as I had the idea for doing this, I knew I was going to have to record the entire sessions and upload them, which is exactly what I've done. And there's almost no reason not to record it, because when you do it on a live stream, you don't have to do it as a video afterwards and upload it. It just goes to YouTube automatically. All you got to do is literally press record on a PlayStation and you're recording. Press stop and press start again. You can only record on YouTube, I think, in 12-hour sessions on the PlayStation. So for me, the element of doubt there is because I insisted on doing that just on 10,000 trophies in a day. Nobody can deny that I did that because the proof is there. And if there's no proof, it doesn't exist. And the trouble is that is where a little bit of the doubt lies, because 90,000 trophies in a week by one person is a lot. A lot of people are going to presume that was hot seating, whether they admit it or not. But if it was genuinely on his own, then why the hell didn't you record it? Well, that's all you got to do is press start on the record and then just end it on a YouTube channel or put it on a YouTube channel sort of thing. If you're going to do this and you're going to be so hell bent on doing it, like, that's a hell of an achievement. 90,000 trophies in a week. It's insane. So you must know at the same time people are going to be doubting it and saying, oh, it was hot seating, you're swapping it with your family, your friends, other people logging into your account, whatever. There's numerous ways you can go about this. But you must know people are going to say that. So to alleviate that doubt and to prove it wasn't like that, to me, I would have just recorded it. I would just do a bunch of separate videos, stopping it every 10, 11 hours, whatever, and restarting and just do it like that. So yeah, that is what I think about that. Another one, user, was that IC9? Yeah. One of them funny ones that hasn't put the name through properly. I'm trying to go for as much faction renown as possible, trying to get further and farther in each delve while working at leveling up my treasure hoards. After a while, there are no easy delves anymore, and to succeed the delve, I do not take risks and try to succeed by taking the shortest route possible, which result in less chest rewards as a downside. I wonder what is the best tactic, however. Should I have stayed at lower delves to get max chest rewards until all my treasure hoards were very high, and then gone for faction renown instead? Or is my current tactic also good? Right, so no, overall, I think you're doing it pretty much the right way. Start from the easier delves. I've done a faction order list of approximate easiest to hardest. Just work your way through, because basically the lower ones you need less of a horde level. And as your horde level goes up and you get more renown, you're going to slowly but surely gain in power at the same time. And just, yeah, you're doing it pretty much the right way. So keep on at it and don't give up, and make sure you eventually get them all done. Personal question: are you married with kids? My family complains endlessly about my gaming. What is your secret? How long do you game per day? I try to limit my time on a console, but it is how I unwind after work. Not married, long-time girlfriend, 22 years, no kids. My family complains endlessly about my gaming. Well, because I'm semi-retired, I do a bit of buying and selling on the side, but I'm basically at home a lot. The girlfriend is still at work, so basically I get to do the videos during the day without any distractions around, which makes it quite easy to do. How long do I game per day? Probably not as much as people think. I think some people think when you do these videos, you're kind of glued to your console 24/7. That's not how it is at all, but it is the main bulk of what I do, and it probably is somewhere between 6, 8, sometimes 10 hours, maybe, sometimes more. But yeah, I try to limit my time on the console, but it's how I unwind after work. Yeah, it's the same for a lot of people. If you go to work, you come back, and you want to do your hobby. That is fair enough. Right, LMT 1.209. Haven't actually planned for these questions, by the way. The replies are kind of on the fly. A genie appears and grants you 3 wishes. What do you wish for? I want to be a bit boring on this one, because the flipping crap going on in the world right now in various places is really sad. Yeah, absolute crap. So boring. World flipping peace. I know it's too much to ask for. Stop people being annoying to each other. And my third wish, to get my last cosmic dragon, so I can actually get Stellarix and not keep on getting flipping duplicates. Thank you. Yep, not 100 billion million pound, don't care about money that much. It's nice, but not the be all and end all. Mark Douglas McKay says, I play Dungeon and Heroes, I think that's a typo, as well as Gems. I am forever reading in chat that there are almost no videos to watch. My question is rather obvious. Would you consider playing that game so as to become a video provider? I will absolutely have a look at that. Oh, excuse me, this stupid cough still not going away. Right, so yeah, I will have a look at Dungeon and Heroes at some point. Bubble 3K says, maybe too broad, but not sure if you've ever done a self-introductory video. Things like where you're from, what do you do for work, maybe more general if you don't want to dox yourself, when you started recording videos, what console did you start playing games on, is YouTube for fun, or do you hope to make good money off of this? You communicate with other Gems of War YouTubers on the Reddit. Yeah, okay, I'll actually do one at a time. There's about a million different things there. I don't think there was a self-introductory video. I think I've done one similar earlier on, but that's about it. Like, where am I from? I'm from the south in the UK. Semi-retired. Caught sort of quick proper work when I was about 42. Do a bit of buying and selling now to just add to the pot and things like that. Why I started recording videos? Maybe, I think that was mainly to do with being semi-retired, and I just gave me something interesting to do, and I love making things, like just in general, being creative and learning how to do new stuff. And the Gems of War one came out of nowhere, really. It was, I think the first one was a Nomapalooza video, and I can't even remember why I started doing it, but it got an okay amount of views straight away, and I don't know, it was just, oh, this is interesting. And I ended up doing another one a couple of weeks later, and that did okay as well, and then it just went on from there. What console did you start playing games on? My first ever console was a Philips G7000, otherwise known as the Magnavox Odyssey in the US. Very old now, and I've actually recently bought one back. Recently being the last couple of years ago, and I've actually collected all the games since then. So I'm actually going to do a 40 years too late video series on those games, reviewing those video games literally 40 years too late. Is YouTube for fun, or do you hope to make good money off of this? Well, both. It is mainly for fun. If I won £10 million tomorrow, I would still do the YouTube videos because I enjoy making them. Do I hope to make good money off of it? Not necessarily. It's fun watching the money go up. I mean, it's not huge at the moment. There's a pretty cool website called Social Blade where you can put a YouTuber's name in and you can see, how they're doing. And it gives an estimate on things like money earned. The subs, the views is very accurate. The money is more of a guesstimate. I'd say it's about 7 to 8 tenths correct on the higher side of things. Mine is not on the full highest on that, but it is, I'd say 70, 80% towards that way. I think I'm getting around about, for my videos right now, only about £200 a month. It's not huge, but it's £200 a month I didn't have, and that is right now. And it has been going up literally every single month, slowly but surely. But if you're going to start doing videos and things like that, bear with it. Because I remember the first week I got monetized, and it was like, you've earned £1. I was like, a quid? You're having a laugh. But the next week it was £2, then it was £4, then it was 8, then 16. It was almost doubling with exponential growth every week. It slowed down as it got past a certain point, and now I think the month before last, it was 180-ish, and now it's around about 200, and before that. So yeah, it's going up just steadily. So that's the nice part of it, just to show that you're still improving, you're still doing the right things, and you're still carrying on with it. Just so if you're planning on doing that, just stick with it and keep at it. Clip Bomb Chad says, how many teeth does the Centurion have? Well, I did actually intend to bring up the thing. In fact, my PlayStation's on. Hang on. So I'm going to actually do this right now. Collection. I'm going to bring up Centurion. I don't even know if you can see it on the picture or not. And if not, we're going to... Hey, hang on. That is... hang on. I'm going to lean forward. Let's have a look. Right, hang on. I'll tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 32, and you've got some more on the other side. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hang on, starting this again. Because that side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So double that, 26. And going around there, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1836, 46, 56, 62, 64, 66, if you include those ones on his grabby thing, if they count as teeth, is my answer. But they could be claws, not officially teeth. Who knows? But yes, that's me taking things literally yet again. Raven Lunatic 1430 says, what was your favourite event in Gems of War and the least favourite? What one thing would you change about the game if you could? What would you do differently if you started all over again in Gems of War? Favourite event? I'm not sure I have a favourite event. Oh, yes, I do. Of course I do. Bloody Guild Wars. I love Guild Wars. I love getting a really horrible defence. You look at it and you go, oh my God, what the hell do I do with that? That's the sort of thing I like, because I like a challenge. So Guild Wars. Least favourite? Arena. What did it? I was thinking. I was thinking evasion. No, I don't mind that. Bounty. That's all right. Terror Doom. That's cool. And I was thinking about the one thing I never go near, and that is Arena. I just don't know. Don't enjoy that one. So yeah, definitely Arena. What one thing would you change about the game if you could? Bugs. Get rid of the stupid bugs. What would you do differently if you started all over in Gems of War? I wouldn't have ignored my underworld for as long as I did, because I ignored that for absolutely ages. And neither would I have sat on my own, playing the game on my own really casually for about 5 years. This is one thing that people find surprising about me when they learn this. I spent about the first 5 years of playing this game super casually, just literally doing the adventure board and little else. And that was it, really. Just like 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, if that. And that was it for about 5 years. And the reason was I was in a guild with a friend of mine who introduced me to the game. He said, join my guild. Didn't know what I was doing really, so I just did. And I didn't realise that there was this whole new world out there. So when he decided to quit the game, 5 odd years later, of me just literally starting the game up every day to collect my daily reward and then doing my adventure board, whatever it was, and that was it. So obviously when he disbanded the guild, I discovered all these other guilds, and it was like I was like a bit dumbfounded when I discovered there was like all these other guilds with 30 odd people in them and stuff, and it was like could have been doing stuff literally 15 times faster or more, and it's like, oh goodness. So yeah, and that's when I actually got into the game properly and started really enjoying it. Another question from G33K: is the S or C silent in the word sent? I'd say it was the C. I don't know why. Why doesn't Tarzan have a beard? Because he's a fictional character, and it'd be too weird if he did. Another question from Double 3K. Any weird or hidden talent? Got anything on your bucket list you think you'd be able to accomplish in your lifetime? What place would you like to travel to the most? What's your favourite comfort food or food from your childhood? Any weird or hidden talent? Not weird. I'm a bit of a jack of all trades in a way. A lot of my mates think, I'm generally one of those annoying people that's pretty good at most stuff. I don't think I'm outrageously good at anything, but I'm pretty good at most things. I'm a really quick learner, and I do pick things up pretty quick. So I don't think I've got any real hidden talent. I can play keyboard quite well, piano. I'm pretty good at creating my own tunes on a keyboard, arranger, that kind of thing. Anything on your bucket list you think you'd be able to accomplish in your lifetime? Nothing major. Done a few of them. One of my things I really wanted to do when I was younger, I loved the Honda NSX, the original version. And I've owned a couple of them now. A lot of them is all about having nice cars. I've been there and done that, over the flashy cars thing now. What place would you like to travel to the most? It's quite a lot of different places. I like the idea of certain places in Italy, maybe Egypt, America. Yeah, quite a few different places, but not desperate to travel around. I'm not a majorly travel-y person. What's your favourite comfort food or food from your childhood? Well, comfort food is probably chocolate. Love chocolate. Just chocolate bars, like a Galaxy or Dairy Milk, something like that. Very nice. Sandra Smith says, do you still live near your parents now you are older? And was your childhood fun and boisterous? Right, no point trying to dally around it. Well, I don't live near my parents anymore because I lost my parents when I was very young. My dad died when I was around about just before, I think I was 5, and my mum died a year or so before that, I think. And was your childhood fun and boisterous? Unfortunately not. I'm not going to dally on this one too much because it brings back too many horrible memories. But yeah, it was rubbish childhood. I was in foster care until I moved out when I was 18. And yeah, that wasn't very much fun at all for reasons I am absolutely not going into now. But yeah, rubbish. Really not a good childhood at all. So I'm going to have to translate this one. Where's the translate thing? Is it on here? No. How do you translate it? There we go. Hanno Kobo 75 says, Rob's Rob, thanks for the video. They are very helpful to me and fun to watch because they help me learn English and I like your accent. Cheers, mate. I'm from Sendai, Japan. Have you ever been to my country? Well, thanks for thanking me for the video, and I'm glad that you like my accent. But I've never been to Japan, but no, it is one of the countries I would like to visit, because I like all the culture and that's there. So I am keen to visit one day. And last not least, we have, what do you think of the cynical, uncool one, considering he is always trying to imply negative stuff about your channel? I don't believe a word he says, by the way. He's just hateful someone else is doing good, is how I see it. It doesn't bother me. It's fine. The way I see it is based on his name. For all I know, that could be his YouTube personality. I mean, the clue's in his name. He could be doing it just because it's just the way he is. This is YouTube personality doing what he does. So it's like it's cool. I don't actually watch his channel. I've probably watched only 5 minutes in the last year, and that is absolutely honest. And that's because I'm not being nasty by not trying to watch it. I just don't have a lot of time to watch other people's channels. I watch a little bit of Genki's sometimes. I'll do watch some of Chris Purpose now and again, things like that. But yeah, Cynical is not one of the ones that I really watched. I did watch him before I started making videos myself, and I quite liked some of the stuff he'd done. But even then, I did notice that he was saying certain things about, I think it was Genki at the time, going back a bit, and obviously it's moved on to someone else that may be doing well, which may be me. But like I say, it may be just his personality. He may be the nicest person in the world in real life, and it may be just being that way because that's the way his channel is, and he's just looking out for himself. He's doing what he does and thinks he needs to do to look after himself and his channel. So all good. It doesn't bother me that some of it could be factually monumentally incorrect, because people will see that in the end. It does. So yeah, it is what it is. It's not a big deal to me. I think some people would get affected by that, but yes, water off a duck's back doesn't bother me. Like it's the same about my previous life stuff, the stuff I've been through in the past and things like that. Somebody telling fibs about your YouTube channel is not it's not anything I'm going to be worried about anytime soon. So no, let him carry on doing what he's doing. Like I say, people tend to tell me stuff sometimes now. I don't hear much. Sometimes it goes in a bit of fits and spurts when maybe he's in a funny mood and you hear stuff. I mean, if a few batches, like a few days in a row or something, and it's like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I can't. What were some of them? Something about some of them were like insistencies that I copied stuff or something. I can't remember. Oh yeah, but like the million gold trick where you can spend some glory to pick up like a million gold instantly. Like absolutely insistent that I'd gone through his videos and then copied things like systematically or something. No, that actually came from a suggestion in the guild. Somebody actually mentioned that in the guild, and we've done it a couple of days later. And another one where it's insisted I'd copied him or something as well. That was the same thing. It was a guild discussion. We talked about it and said that'd make a good video. Just happens to be that he'd done something like that like several months or years ago or something. Therefore, because he's done a remotely similar video on something on the same game, we're not talking about a genre here, we're talking about the same game. They've done a similar one to like God knows how long ago. Therefore, that had to be copying. But therefore, if I want to be as cynical about that, he must be copying Tacit then. I mean, if we're going to go down that route of if any video is similar or the same on teams or whatever, then anybody that came out with Gems of War videos must be copying Tacit. Tacit done key openings, done teams, things like that. So he done them afterwards. Cynical done them afterwards, doing teams, key openings, things like that. So he's clearly copying Tacit, but do you see Tacit crying and bawling his eyes out from the rooftops? Of course not, because it doesn't matter. But anyway, like I say, it could be his play style, his YouTube style, and in real life, he may actually be a genuinely nice person. We don't know. But anyway, that is the last of the questions, and that was a longer video than I perhaps intended, but I think that's answered mostly everything that people asked, apart from some of the multi questions. But there it is. There's the video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to bash that like and subscribe button. And if you've got any questions about my answers to your questions, then leave it in the comments in this video. Is that right? I think so. Anyway, thanks for watching. If anybody watched all that, you are a hero. But yes, catch you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.